Yo, 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 what's up? What's the deal? 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 Roll call. Let me know where you from in the house. If you're here, welcome to Bladerunner Radio with your host, the ghost with the most, TMT. Let me see where y'all at. Where y'all at? Where y'all from? Where y'all at? Peace to everybody in the motherfucking house tonight. What it do? What it do? What's your area code? What's good? What's good? Yeah. What's the deal? What's the deal? You know who it is. Yes, sir. You're now tuning in to Bladerunner Radio. Hit that like button on the way in. Show everybody you here. Yes, sir. Hit that like button on the way in. Let's get this going. We got a nice, good discussion tonight. Yes, sir. We got 39 watching, 17 likes. Let's get the likes up, please. Oh, yeah, this is going to be one for all y'all to put y'all hip-hop thinking caps on tonight. We're going to have a real breakdown, a real conversation about what's going on. I see everybody kind of like the TMT's breakdowns of the game and the hip-hop and the rap and the culture and all of that. You know, I've been knee-deep in this shit for a long time. Peace to everybody. Hit the likes. And one good announcement we're going to make. I hope everybody's having a good week. Your boy TMT finally got monetized. I haven't been monetized in like 4 years. Straight up. So now you see I got the super chat option and all that good stuff and all the little bells and whistles as an official streamer finally. You know what I'm saying? I've been hiding in the dark. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even try to even apply for that stuff, but I figured I'd start taking it a little more serious. So here we are. Do what you will and what you wish with that information. Thank you, brother. Thank you, Matt. Yeah, right? I got my first super chat in like 4 years. Prism of the Ism dropped a 10-piece on me. Wow, appreciate that. I ain't had a super chat in like 4 years. Straight up, that's like the first one I... Straight up, that is like a whole new thing to me right now, yo. I just been doing this on the arm for the last 4 or 5 years. Y'all know I took my talents to Patreon where it was like, I can do what I do and it ain't no big deal. You know, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I want to be a little more active in the world and put my hands down. Yo, I'm serious. I really, this is not normal for me. This is not normal. Yeah, we got 56 watching. We getting up. Patreon is, 77 said Patreon be going crazy. Yeah, Patreon's a good look, you know what I'm saying? You might not have the audience, but you got the people that want to hear you, so it's more personal for me, you know what I'm saying? It's more personal. I enjoy those videos and interacting with the cats on the Patreon because I know that they appreciate the style that I got and what I talk about, and I know it ain't too many people that's in there just talking crazy. You know, the Cash App is in there for y'all and all of that good stuff. I finally got a member button on my joint so you can join and all of that good stuff. Listen, do what you want. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna be one of them dudes just like, hit the super chat, hit the super chat, hit the super chat, hit the super chat, hit the super chat. I ain't doing none of that. You do what you want, do what you feel. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no big deal. You know what I mean? You want to show love, you show love. If you know, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? We got 62 watching, we got 35 likes. It's kind of half and half right now. So let's go ahead and match that up a little bit. Let's get that matching. Let's get it up to like, once it get up, more people going to come. So we get it up to 35, get up to like 50, 60. We can start the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Live from OKC. We got some brothers in here from all over the map. This is a beautiful moment right here. It's my first live stream monetized. You know what I'm saying? This is a whole new ball game for me, I guess, But tonight's discussion, we're going to talk about modern rap's crossroads. Does authenticity trump real talent, real skills, real abilities to tell stories, to captivate with your wordplay, be a wordsmith. You know, does just being a real street dude trump all of that? Is that more important in today's game? That's the question we're going to discuss. And a lot of you may already have opinions on that, which is great. I want to hear your opinions. Off top, off that question alone, do you agree yes or no? Does authenticity trump real talent in today's rap game? Let's talk about it. Let me see your comments. What y'all got for me, man? Get them likes up, all of that good stuff. Yes, sir. Let me check out the comments. Got the usual suspects in the building. I love it. Let me look here. I want to see all my chats. So let me hear what your Prism of the Ism says. Yes. We got a big yes from Prism of the Ism. He says that's definitely yes. Well, let me clear up the question. Does authenticity in a rapper that may not be as skillful, may not really be a rapper at all, right? Does that trump somebody who takes the time to perfect how to rap, might tell street stories, but might not particularly be someone that's knee deep in the streets or doing actual crimes or catching actual bodies? But, you know, that's why I gave the example of someone like a King Von versus a Nas. Nas is probably is the best rapper, I would say, besides a couple other elite MCs who's told the street story for the last 27, 28 years. Now, Nas may not particularly be what you would call a street dude, but he had talent, right? Scant Dollar, what up? He had talent. He was able to tell the story. With someone like a King Von, he might have been someone who was more street, but not really a rapper per se. Rap really wasn't his dream. You know what I'm saying? He just happened to be a rapper, but he just happened to maybe put some words together, but really it was the story that put him over the top. It was really his authenticity that drew people in, was the fact that he was actually, documented to be a part of this world, So that's what we're talking about in this stream. So with that question being a little more descriptive, what do you guys think? Do you think that this is a true statement? Yeah, what's good, brother Zeke? What's good, Prism of the Ism, Lions Den? Respect to all y'all coming in. Brother Zeke says, with the drill scene, the authenticity is detrimental and deadly. That is a good statement. I agree with that wholeheartedly. So as we get started, I wanted to break it down with a little bit of my synopsis of this, right? You take someone who is a street guy, very deep in it, maybe a gang member, whatever the cause may be. When he raps, when he puts his words on the microphone, the persona that he carries is the true part, right? But him actually being a rapper, that's not who he is. So even when he's rapping, there's a sense of falsehood there, because when he's rapping, that's not truly who he is. He's not a rapper. He's a gang member. He's a street dude. He's a shooter. So you can't expect all of the talent to come with that, right? As opposed to someone like Nas, who is someone who wanted to rap, someone who followed hip hop, who is hip hop. Now, he comes from Queensbridge, which is a very bad area in New York. I don't know how it is now, but I know back in the 90s, around the era, Queensbridge was a bad place to be. There was a lot of crime. Now, I'm not saying Nas wasn't intermingled with anything, But if we look at Nas's whole career, we can't say Nas was particularly a street guy because there wasn't any real crimes happening on Nas's behalf, right? It was Nas never got locked up for no guns or shooting people and no shit like that. Yo, I want to stop that. David with an AY. Just wanted to show some love with the 1999 super chat. I appreciate you wholeheartedly, brother. So that is what we're saying. Nas is a rapper. The street persona he might have took on might have been emphasized because that's who he was, but he wasn't particularly someone who was street. He was more of an MC first. King Von was a street dude pretending to rap. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what people would look at, they would look at more or less the fact that they can go in a documentary and look up all these cases and capers and crimes that had to deal with King Von. That was his allure, that what he was saying was truth. What he was saying was actually authentic. So even if he wasn't rapping it as well, even if he wasn't the best rapper, the bar, the actual bar, it ain't the same as what we think anymore. Someone put an ill line together. The punchline is the bar. You know what I'm saying? The actual bar is King Von, without saying anything rap-wise, is saying something that really is true. It's not about how he said it, the way he said it, how fly he said it. It was the fact that he said it. And in today's game, that's being nice. That's called spitting to these guys. That's saying he gets busy because he said something that really happened. He said somebody's name that really got caught up in it. Nas more or less was the artistry. The way he said things was beautiful, right? And I'll give you an example. Yeah, Von bars put you at the scene of the crime. And to people, that was bars. That's fly. That's the part that makes it ill. Now, me listening to Nas, him saying something that might have went over a lot of people's head on the song "You're the Man." Nas said, "I'm sitting still in my chair like my conception." Now, you hear that bar and you like, damn, that sounds dope. But if you look that up, there's an actual jazz album from an artist named My Conception. And the dude is sitting in a chair staring at the sky in contemplation on the album cover. So when Nas says, "I'm sitting in my chair like my conception," you might have just thought it sounded dope, but he really was describing an album cover. That's beautiful artistry right there. Yo, King of all kings, thank you for the super chat, brother. I appreciate you, family. So when we look at that, yeah, somebody said something about 50 Cent, and I'm going to go back to that comment because I kind of looked it over, but I definitely saw it out the corner of my eye. Jay Premier said 50 Cent was realer than I thought. He actually never put a spotlight on the stuff he did. Smart again. Now, 50 Cent, again, we can use that same example. What rappers used to say about 50 Cent, their only thing they could say about him when he was beefing with Jadakiss or whoever, they was usually going at the fact that he wasn't as lyrically inclined as, say, a Jadakiss. But a lot of the stuff he was saying, yeah, Sonny Clark's album cover. You're right. You're right. Sonny Clark's album. Yeah. So that's what they would say about 50, that he wasn't the best rapper. 50 made good songs, but he wasn't like elite rapper. Right? But 50's story is what took it over the edge. He didn't have to be as nice as he claimed because everything he said, you could trace it back to something real that really happened for the most part. Because people got stories that co-sign. Styles P. Now, Styles P is one of the few that you would say that had a good authentic street background, but he still was actually in the street somewhat. You know what I'm saying? Yo, AM1, peace, bro. What's up, man? We got a $2 super chat from AM1. Dope discussion. This needs to be sorted out. Peace and blessings, man. XL Pro with the $5 super chat saying checking in. Shout out to everybody that's dropping super chats, knowing I have not been monetized in like 4 years is really hits a brother in his soft spot. So yeah, or they say 50 work with the police. So they had to go somewhere else. So when we talk about this discussion as all of us being hip hop aficionados, hip hop fans, cats that's listen to this from the day one, a lot of us have seen the evolution, the rise, the fall, the stagnation of what we call rap and hip hop today. Now, it's actually in a gray area where some of the less street rappers are becoming famous, like a Drake, so to speak. Drake is not a street guy whatsoever. And when Drake tries to sound street, people laugh at it, right? David with an AY says, I like The Last Real Ninja Alive by Nas a lot. Yeah, he was speaking a lot of dope stuff on there. Yeah. Yeah, see, now the hip hop stories is coming out. I like that. Michael L. Jordan said Ghostface wore a mask because he was on the run from the law. That is true. Right? Yeah. Let me look at some of these comments because y'all saying some dope stuff. Hold on. Timekeeper said, the issue with a lot of legendary rappers we hold in high regard weren't the guys that were neck deep in the streets like their music claimed. Only a handful were, the majority weren't, and that's true. Now, is that something that we overlook on purpose? Because at the other end, the young boys would say someone like Nas isn't real. He's fake. Because he's not living, per se, all of his rhymes. You know what I'm saying? You funny. Andre Escobar say, yo, I love your channel, your content, but your voice doesn't match your face. I thought a nigga took over your channel. All love. Ha! That's funny. Right? So we can look at Ghostface as one of the few and far between. And I'm not saying all of these rappers are fake and everybody's, fronting and nothing like that. But what I am saying, that there's definitely a translation between how modern rap culture sees it and how we see it. You know what I'm saying? Because they will look at someone like King Von, and when we say, yo, King Von can't rap, he ain't nice like that, they be like, but he's real. He real though. He real. But when we talk about somebody like Nas, they be like, Nas is fake. He ain't really do that. But they don't even care that he can rap good. It's not even part of the criteria anymore. You understand? It's different. Yeah, ain't nobody trying to rap a song backwards. Yeah, that takes real work, of course. So they look at it different. So are they wrong or are we? You see what I'm saying? On both sides of the spectrum, there's two arguments to be held. Because we believe that the skill matters, right? Because we come from that era where if you wasn't good at it, you didn't prosper at rap. And they look at an era where they don't care about the skill. All you had to have is a beat. And I'm not saying King Von couldn't rap. I ain't say that. I'm saying that definitely his street aura carried it way beyond. You understand? Max 714 said Von raps were better than most of his era. I'll give him that. Yeah, and I'm not saying the kid couldn't put his words together. But of course, I know more about Von and his history in the gang violence in Chicago and the streets and all of that more than I know about his music. You understand? Let me just do a quick check here. We got 111 watching with 69 likes. If you're enjoying the content and we're just getting started, could you please add some more likes to this so we can get more people in here and make the discussion a little more profound? You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all of y'all who are dropping likes and all of y'all who come and show this love. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. It's free. It don't take much time. And it just builds the show, builds the channel, and helps it do what it do. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go through these comments, and you guys got some great discussion points here. So I'm going to have to read some of these out loud. Well, H says, I think that part of the reason that there's an age limit on hip hop, 17 to 25-year-olds are what the labels desire. That is, of course. Well, Jay Thomas has an adverse comment. He says, well, Keanu Reeves isn't going around assassinating people every day. I guess he's fake too then. Yeah, see, it's strange. It's a weird like dichotomy as to what we let slide. It seems like hip hop, for some reason, we look at somebody like a Rick Ross who can make good music. I'm not going to front on that. Rick Ross can make good music. Wow. Philosophical says $4.99 super chat. I appreciate you, brother. He says, self-indictment over a beat isn't real at all. If you want to be in the street so bad, why start rapping and make money anyway? That makes perfect sense. If you're so big in the street, especially like I said in another live, if you're like a Rick Ross where you were this big, super kingpin, at what point would you rap have any benefit to you? Being out in the open and being in public eye when everybody knows that's not advantageous to being a kingpin, Duh. You know what I'm saying? David with an AY with a $49 super chat. I appreciate you, brother. You are sponsoring the show, like my man Black Ram would say. For all the knowledge you've been given over the years, I've been in the cut for a while watching you, so here's for all the game, brother. And I appreciate that for all you brothers who've been watching my channel for years. And that's beautiful because, a lot of people watch my channel in the cut. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them low-key joints, So there's an authenticity to rap, to hip. The real Rick Ross is a rapper. The one that we see on TV. And this is the one that blows it out of the box. The real Rick Ross is a rapper. But his actual persona is a real kingpin that really exists and is really alive. So, is Rick Ross the fakest rapper ever? Because his story doesn't check out. But he makes great music. Where's the balance there, right? It's an interesting conversation because we have so many examples. Pablo the Alchemist says, your take on Eminem versus Melly Mel situation. My take on that is I feel like Eminem deserves enough right to be in the rap game as much as anybody else. And I felt like over the years, Melly Mel has had a lot of negative things to say about, modern MCs, even from the 90s and 2000s. So his take is a little bit, I know he was an originator of street rap because he was the first one to street rap for that, with the message. But I think Eminem gets a lot of slack for no reason. I think Eminem is a great MC, a superior MC. But for some reason, people give him a lot of problems and trouble. Just, like the Lord Jamals, they swear he's not allowed. He shouldn't be allowed to rap, which is nuts. Yeah, I like Ransom too. Ransom is ill. Yeah, AM1 says real or fake doesn't matter. People like what they like and say anything to defend it. And that's beautiful. I mean, you can listen to what you want. Never Hungry Again says Ice Cube was the fakest rapper. Okay, here we go. You know what I'm saying? Master Jones says, good channel, man. I've been catching your uploads for years also. I hate that you had to take most of them Patreon. Yeah, I know. I'm going to try to figure out how to balance both, you know what I mean? So, as we go deep into this discussion, we have so many countless examples of what's real and what's not. And I said something in a song. I said, I think it's about time we redefine what's a real ninja. I think it's time we redefine what being real is. Because when we leave being real under the scope of you had to do jail time, you had to commit bodies, you had to be robbing people, you had to be a straight degenerate to be considered real, that's completely ass backwards to me. I think being real and being authentic means being a real man, being responsible, standing on your principles, saying what you mean and meaning what you say, representing the Most High in everything you do. You know what I'm saying? Being a real stand-up man. And we don't keep that as part of our a point. Being a stand-up dude should matter more than being a real dude who commits crimes. You know what I mean? Pablo the Alchemist with the $2.79 super chat says, your take on Kool Herc and the creation of rap. I mean, if you think about it, the way that rap was created is kind of genius, you know? It wasn't natural. You know, just like you say a Grandmaster Flash, the way he figured out how to use two turntables to mix, that's genius, especially because it didn't exist before. People can come up with new ways to DJ now with new equipment and technology, but at the end of the day, he figured that out when it was nothing. Cats figured out how to rap and put, you know, loop the certain part of the songs that the MC could go over when that didn't exist prior to that. That's ghetto genius right there. It's genius. You know, creating something that didn't exist prior to is actually a form of genius. Everything else is flattery. It's someone replicating what other people. Grandmaster Flash. Every DJ you see now is replicating what he started. You know what I'm saying? So when we try to define, let's see. Right. Okay. Dime 10 says, yeah. Okay. So here we go. We got a lot of deep comments because you brothers are real. I like you guys, mind the way y'all guys think. Philosophical says, once lyricism stopped being the criteria and criminality became the criteria, it opened the door for other regions who don't understand the culture to take over. More people can shoot than that can rap. That is true. That is true. Jay Thomas says, Tariq Nasheed's new documentary about hip hop is about to put a lot of BS to rest as far as its origin. Ah, okay. Dime 10-1 says, it's hard to judge how someone's life has been. Anything can affect people differently, and someone may be facing trauma every day and no one would know if they didn't speak on it. Okay, you have a hard name. Yaroom 144 Yahuwah. Oh, the scooper. Yahuwah. You spelled that. Okay. But is that what someone's rapping about? Wait. But if that's what someone's rapping about, that don't lie and deceive yourself, lie and deceive others through your music because music influences people. Interesting. So when we look at rap now, and some of us might be fans of it, some of us might not be. And that's totally up to you. That's completely your decision if you like rap or you don't, right? You don't mess with it, you don't. That's perfectly fine. But what we're trying to get to the bottom of with our thinking caps is trying to figure out if being authentic is more important and trumps actually being a talented artist. Does that make someone more than talented now, when it used to be the adverse before? And are they wrong for thinking that? This is something, we're not going to be biased here. Pablo the Alchemist says, how do you feel about the beef between black Americans and black Jamaicans and hip hop, rap, and creation and of its contributions? I don't know, man, because I didn't really do a lot of research on that. And if they saying Kool Herc was Jamaican or whatever the case may be, it's kind of interesting because even if he did and he's from Jamaica, I mean, what difference does it make to me? You know, that's why I feel, you know, he's an American. He was in America. So even if they said it was in Jamaica, I don't know. Max 7114 says, wonder why Melly Mel didn't have no hate towards Beastie Boys like towards Eminem. Probably because Eminem is super rich. And I think a lot of people in the old school rap era feel some type of way because I don't think they were able to really profit off something that they originated. And I think it's a little bit of saltiness there. Because the rap game doesn't really reach back for the older artists. It kind of leaves you out in the open where you're just on your own. And there isn't anybody playing old school records or you know, doing old school shows to the point where these old rappers can actually profit from them. You know, so I think they have a little bit of issue with that. Kool Herc is Jamaican American. So, I mean, okay. Does that take away from what other people have done with it? Does that take away what other people have been able to accomplish with music? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got to be fair, because the rap game, it had its stages, right? And you could use different rappers as examples, because a lot of rappers change with the times. You understand? When the drug dealer persona was big in the 90s, right? When Jay-Z was rapping about being what he was, right? That was part of his aura. Now, when you hear Jay-Z speak, he doesn't even really talk about that. And his latest parts of his rap is kind of like a flashback version of it now, when Jay-Z does rap at any point he does. And I remember at certain times, even when Nas was on this whole mafioso thing, the whole when the Firm and Nas was Nas Escobar, and he was rapping like he was like a mobster, and you know, but Nas was still a great MC. So Nas got by, even though it wasn't real, on the fact that he was so good at telling the story, painting the picture. It made it feel real. That was the skill. Nas was like somebody, he was like a talented artist where you could feel like if Nas didn't rap, Nas would have been doing something else, like playing the piano or doing jazz. You know, Nas is a musician. So when someone's a musician, Jacques Retro with a $2 super chat says, should be a balance of authenticity and skill, for sure. Nas is an actual musician. So when we're talking about Nas being a musician, that means that person would be able to pick up and figure out any place in the music business. It would have been maybe instruments, maybe it'd have been another aspect. That's just what a musician is. He might have been, you know, in a jazz band or a jazz NBA player, something like that. It doesn't mean it takes away from it, but it means he's actually an artist that came up in the street world, that was from the street, not particularly was street, and had the talent to tell the story vividly and beautifully. Whereas someone like King Von, if he didn't have rap, he'd just be a guy in the street. You see what I'm saying? Rap was like, he was a street dude playing a rapper. So his authenticity was that, but him being a rapper was actually the part that wasn't who he was. He just was able to rap, which a lot of guys have a quiet talent for, and he actually was able to get in the right places. You see what I'm saying? Jacques Retro said Nas played the trumpet first. See, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, who's real? The guy who's pretending to be a street dude that could rap, or the guy who's the street dude pretending to be a rapper? Because that's not really who he is. So you can't expect him to be the most lyrical guy on the planet. And we're not using King Von as the only example. We're just saying in general. And Michael L. Jordan says, imagine NBA players who played before the three-point line existed being mad about Steph Curry's yearly salary. That's exactly what I was trying to say. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. So if you want to say it like that, who's really pretending the most? The guy whose persona may be a little exaggerated, but his talent is amazing? Or the guy whose persona is real and his talent is kind of like, you know, he gets by. Right? He's pretending to be a rapper. That's his persona. His persona is the rapper. His true self is the street dude. You understand? The persona he puts out is being a rapper. You see pictures of these guys, or King Von, him taking photos, is him trying to be what a rapper is. Like, this is how I'm supposed to pose, and you know. So you got to think of it like that, man. I've been listening to this a long time, and I remember something about Onyx back in the day. That Onyx were, when Onyx first came out, that they were actually like break dancers and stuff like that. They was kind of like a whole different person. but they could rap. And then when they got to Def Jam, Russell Simmons is the one that gave them that bald head look, the angry, the mad face, and the, you know what I'm saying? And they were able to take that and turn it into what you know now as Onyx. You understand? But we still like because they made good music. Not saying they were fake, but knowing that a lot of it was exaggerated, especially in the 90s. A lot of the stuff we listened to might have been exaggerated. Maybe not to the extreme that some cats might do now. Someone like Rick Ross would not have been able to exist in the 90s, especially with the real Rick Ross actually being alive. There's no way that would have happened. That's impossible. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. We got 97 watching, 104 likes. So, is it something that we can actually have an argument over? I remember all of them years going through my rap life, my rap experience, and there was a lot of points when I was trying to be an MC and I couldn't figure out how I wanted to project myself. You know what I mean? I envy rappers now like the J. Cole's and the Kendrick Lamar's and the guys that could actually be themselves. You know, J. Cole is just J. Cole. J. Cole isn't trying to be anyone. And he can rap from that perspective. See, one thing you got to understand with being an MC and rapping, there's levels to being skillful. It's easy to rap from a just point blank perspective, right? For some people, that's hard. Like you said, Little Brother, Fonte, and all of them guys, they were able to rap as themselves and be successful. You understand? They were able to be themselves. Slum Village. How many artists can we name? De La Soul. There were a lot of artists who were able to be themselves and still be successful, but not every MC can rap from that perspective. It's very hard to rap as yourself in a game where you're seeing everybody else kind of make these images. Jay Thomas said North Carolina has deep roots in rap and produced many of the best. Yeah, North Carolina has always been very, very talented place. Styles. Oh man, that's hard to say. Stylistic S, and I still remain at Elzai, The Preface, and Cunnilinguist, A Price of Strange were the best albums of the 2000s. Yeah, Max Smith says Most Def. There isn't a lot of there are rappers that were able to be successful as themselves. But when it came down to hitting that higher mainstream ceiling, that's when the personas came in. That's when the labels wanted something bigger. You know, you would come in there with your talent and they would hear that you were talented and they would feel like it need to be more. What's behind the talent? We need more of a story. Because don't think that these labels weren't getting, and especially in the heyday in the 90s, these labels were getting plenty of talented rappers. But understand, a lot of them were getting turned away because they didn't have a street persona. Michael L. Jordan says Lupe Fiasco, Common. They weren't getting signed because they didn't have that extra street aura that the label can promote. So in the 90s, that mattered too. It did. You understand? Yeah, Currency is another one. I love Currency too. He's one of my favorite MCs now. You know? It's different. So when we think of cats, Michael L. Jordan, we're still going through examples. Michael L. Jordan gives another example of somebody like Kanye. Yeah. Somebody was able to be himself and be successful. Travis Scott, not a street dude, not trying to be street dudes. Little Brother, Hieroglyphics. You know, there was a point when that was smooth, right? When you were just dope. Yeah, Tribe Called Quest, how I forget them. But at the very same time, that's how rap and hip hop was kind of developed in that sense, where it was like people were able to, you can have the MCs who were not street dudes, who weren't trying to be street dudes. And and he said like DMX was being himself. Yeah, and a guy like DMX, he's kind of like an enigma, right? Because DMX was actually being himself, even though it may seem extreme. They were dudes. Now we can go through who are the dudes, who were the street guys that were actually rapping. You understand? That were really street guys. You know, we could go for the 50 Cents. We could go for the Bumpy Knuckles. I heard a lot of stories about him. Jeff Ma says, Pusha T is the fakest. If I was pushing work like that, I wouldn't be rapping about it. Yeah. It's cold, man. Wiz Khalifa is being himself. He doesn't try to be a tough guy. He just is who he is. He like to smoke. He like to have fun. That's fine. Kid and Play, stuff like that. Mad Skills. Yeah. Coast Contra. Yeah, them young boys is dope. Those are two of them are Raz Kaz's sons, if y'all didn't know that. They're Raz Kaz's twin sons. Jay Thomas, Jeezy was the only rapper who got out of a deal on top with P. Diddy. He was really street, and Diddy had no choice. Big Crit. DMX could actually rap like he didn't get no credit. He didn't get enough credit. I feel like that too. Freddie Fox was the truth. Now we talking about the dudes who was really in it. I would say Beanie Siegel, who actually could rap still. Tragedy, Nori, Capone, Comega, G.I.D., Larry June. Yeah, it's like it's a mix of like who. Yeah, those are Raz Kaz's sons. Two of them, they're twins. Yeah, Ludacris being himself. He said he likes G.I.D., J.I.D. So who are the street guys? Who are the street guys? Would you guys say Jadakiss is a street guy? Or would you put him into that category with Nas? Somebody who's talented, who might not have been really, really street all the way. You know what I'm saying? M.O.P. Would Jadakiss be? What category would Jadakiss be in? United Drills of America says, I know Larry June personally. I grew up with him. He's playing a character far from himself. Jadakiss is with Nas, right? Because I remember Jadakiss might be from the block. He's not saying these dudes is puss and no shit like that. We're not saying that. Let's be clear. We're not calling them puss. But we are saying that, yeah, Jadakiss was in the street more like in that era. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure that there was people that could say Jadakiss was doing some stuff. But then there was a point when Jadakiss got in an interview and his own pops was like, yo, he went to private school. Like, he wasn't, I don't know where you get that from. And Jadakiss had to sit there and eat that. Like, his own pop said it. You know? You come from a good background. I don't know where you got that from. That's what his pops was saying. Yeah, Jay Thomas says Jadakiss seems like he was a low-level street dude with ties to real dudes. And yo, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But when we get to that discussion about who's real and who's not, does Jadakiss take a L because he's not as OD and extreme as like a King Von or some of these drill rappers? Does he take a L? Even though he's considered one of the nicest that could rap? Yeah, Prodigy's one of my favorite rappers. Michael L. Jordan said Freddie Gibbs gets the gold medal for fakest. Yeah, Max 7114 says people need to know the difference from being in the hood and being involved in street crimes. It's different. You know what I'm saying? Yo, and I'm not saying Jadakiss, listen, and I'm not saying Jadakiss never did nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying he never got involved in nothing. You know what I'm saying? But when a dude says, let's just be for real, when a dude says, when my coke come in, they gotta use the scales that they weigh the whales with. Is that exaggeration? Is that a little bit of exaggerated? Let's be for real. I'm just saying. It was a dope line. It was a dope line on We Gonna Make It. When my coke come in, you got to use the scales that you weigh the whales with. Do you know how much drugs that is? Yo. Do you know how much drugs that is, dog? That is insane. Yeah. That is insane. And there was a lot of rappers who were nice enough to say crazy stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. I heard songs when Styles P was like, you know, on that song, I'm a Rough Rider. He was like, I sit in the back with the chicken wire and choke you in the back seat. Like, what is it? When do we call a spade a spade? Like, this is wild. I'm not saying these dudes didn't get an OZ or no shit like that and flip a couple. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Please understand, I'm not saying these dudes are just making all, you know, it's definitely exaggerations. You understand? If Rick Ross can come out and pretend that he is a straight up drug lord, knowing he had a regular job, is wild. Is wild. And what we got to remember, someone like say a 50, or Biggie Smalls, they would say 50, I keep saying 50 Cent. Biggie Smalls actually did sell drugs. And even when he was signed, at certain points when he wasn't making money, he kept going back to selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? He was going back to selling drugs because he wasn't making no money. And it wasn't enough. It wasn't more than he was making on the street. Right? And we can believe that Biggie Smalls is probably one of the best rappers, MCs. You understand? But it took some convincing to get him to want to rap. Because it was like, yo, until this is making me some money, I gotta go back to what I can do, because I can't feed my kids like this. My child, I'm broke. Because you know that rap money gets slow, man. You know what I'm saying? Yo. Yeah, my bathtub lift up, my walls do a 360. We got the shit that the government got. Like, that's kind of ill. That sounds ill. But we got to be for real, as older cats that's been around in the 90s and 2000s. These guys, you know, some of their rhymes was a little wild, son. Some of their rhymes was a little, you know what I mean, a little Hanna-Barbera, son. You know what I mean? They was definitely on some Hanna-Barbera animating a lot of this stuff. It was a little over the top, bro. And there's nothing wrong. I'm not even knocking it. I'm just saying that we have to be real. We can't always knock the younger dudes for saying someone like this is that, or they're not this, but they not, you know, they real, and it don't even matter if they nice, even though we got the dudes that was nice, and there was a lot of the stuff they was saying was kind of wild. You know what I'm saying? You know, Sheik Lou says, I put the Bible to your head and shoot through Matthew verse 10. That's kind of bugged out. That's nuts. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it. Oh, never hungry again. Now we pulling out the questionable rhymes. DMX said, if you got a daughter older than 16, I'm a you know what her. And I think that was some of the wildest shit I ever heard in my life. You understand? That was nuts. Now, I would hate to believe that that's real. That's true. I would hate to believe that that was real. What he was saying was true. I would hate to believe that DMX would do something like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he said that. Yeah, DMX said that on Dark as Hell and Hot. Dark and Hell is Hot. What's that song? 1, 2, X is coming for you. 3, 4. Yeah, he said that. And he said, yo, you want to watch a little more? He said something about, like, ask you if you want to watch. Would you watch a little more? Will you? Like, that was OD. Bruh. Yo, Big L said something like, too, if I catch AIDS and I'm going to start, you know what, bitches. The R word. Bruh. Yeah. Yo, Biggie Smalls dead wrong. Let's be for real now. Let's be for real. In the 90s, it was some wild shit they was saying, bruh. Biggie Smalls, you look so good. I suck on your daddy's. Come on, son. It's a lot of questionable raps, man. A lot of these raps is real questionable, son. You know what I mean? Real questionable. Michael L. Jordan says cannabis, but you ain't got the skills to eating ass like me. Yo, it was a lot of OD shit. So when we look at, and these dudes could rap. Everybody we talking about could actually rap. But was it actually authentic? How authentic was it? You know, I would hate to believe these guys would do the things they were rapping about, especially Biggie Smalls saying that line about the father, and you know, that's kind of nuts, yo. Yeah. Yo. Yeah, the entire song of Dead Wrong by Biggie Smalls was wild. Dude was talking about grape, sodomizing grown men, even some dog. And that song was on the radio in some situations. That was nuts. The word, the G word, you know what I'm talking about. I don't want to say it. I'm trying to think, what did Prodigy ever say? Prodigy was always just talking about clapping somebody. It was almost like people even made jokes about, because both of them, Mobb Deep was like really small stature dudes. And he used to talk about always beating people up all the time. And I'm not saying they was puss. Ah, man, Brother Zeke. Biggie on What's Beef. Don't they know my nigga got a kid in their ears? F him in throw him over the bridge. Yeah, I remember hearing that for the first time, and I felt very uncomfortable. You heard? Because I think when that came out, I was still in like high school. I felt weird. That was weird. You know what I mean? So is rap a lot of embellishing? Yeah. Are the most talented rappers able to do it in a dope way? Sure. Definitely. But can we be real? What's the difference? Okay, so you got somebody who's real, who just straight up is what he is and can't do it like that. What's dude saying crazy stuff that they're making up, or a dude saying crazy stuff that he didn't make up. It seems like the guys with the imagination get to go a little further and get a little more nonsensical. You understand? Like, for real. Being very nonsensical. I'm trying to think of rhymes, like, and I'm not knocking it. But at a certain point, you had to really think like, yo, did Jay-Z really do all of this that he was talking about? You understand? But Jay-Z was so good. He made it sound so good. It sounded real. And I'm not saying Jay-Z wasn't about it. But I used to really ask myself in these songs, like, yo, did he really sell drugs like he's saying? You know what I mean? When Jay-Z said, I'm 2.2 pounds, you're barely 125 grams. Wouldn't expect you to understand this money. I was like, I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? But even if he was faking it or whatever the reference was, I know he was talking about drugs in some type of fly way. I mean, Pusha T been rapping about coke for 15, 20 years. And I haven't known anyone to like fact check it or know that he was making it up. You know what I'm saying? Hey, yo. A lot of stories confirm Jay-Z's drug dealing capers. I'm sure. Jay Thomas said, Bizarre said, I'm in a rave again, picking up transvestites on my Harley Davidson. Hey, yo. People said Jay-Z had money way before he got a deal. Yo, I'm not even fronting on that. You know what I'm saying? And Jay-Z's like one of the best, top 5. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z's one of the best. And if you want to sit there and say, well, yeah, some people say, yeah, okay, that Jay-Z's mans in them was really on it, and Jay-Z was kind of like, you know. So Timekeeper says Pusha T is pretty transparent about his past. From the way he talks about it, I don't think he's lying. All right. Back in the 90s, Lord Finesse said Jay-Z was really living that life. Okay. Cool. You know what I'm saying? No problem. And somebody said, Fat Joe. Let's just make an example out of Fat Joe. Let's just talk about Fat Joe for a minute. When Fat Joe first came out, he was already in the street very, very OD as a teenager. You know what I'm saying? When he did like talent shows and stuff, he was pulling up in Mercedes Benzes, all type of crazy stuff. Like Joe-Z was OD. And to this day, like when Joe was getting in all type of drama with people, it was like, yo, you don't want to deal with Fat Joe and his whole peoples. It was like really certified. It wasn't, you know? And it's like, is this something about us psychologically where we got to know that it's real? What? Oh, wow. D. Thomas said some wild shit. You just reading that sounded crazy. Put a pretty hot bitch in the morgue, huh? Call that bitch drop dead gorgeous. Damn. Oh, my God. Son, that's kind of nuts. Like he's rapping. I heard about, and I watched the documentary on that girl that he supposedly did that to. So that makes that even wilder. That there's actually a documentary about that really happening. And he raps about putting her in the morgue. I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty insane. That's pretty insane. Right. King Von rapped that. And you could go It's like, think about it. These people nowadays, right? They don't care about the rap, the how good it is. It's about how true it is. That's what makes people go, oh, like, you know how like in battle rap, you say some ill line and everybody be like, oh, it's different now. It's not the same criteria to make somebody go, oh, snap. It's the fact that what he's saying is real. That's the punchline. So when you hear that and then you go on YouTube and there's a documentary talking about how this guy literally stalked this girl and went back and forth with her on Twitter and had all these crazy, like, twisted conversations about her, and then end up still having beef with her, but acting like he was cool with her and he liked her and had a crush on her, and then actually going on a documentary about her, talking about her like he liked her, knowing good and goddamn well the rumor is that he actually took her out. So then he goes and says a line like that. That's the punchline. Like, what the fuck? You understand? Yeah, he did a whole interview about her. And at the end of the day, come find out he really allegedly. Yo. He did a whole interview. Now, that's the punchline. When these dudes is talking about smoking Tuka and all that crazy stuff. Those are real people. So you don't even have to say it dope at that point with these cats' ears now. Their ears are tuned differently. With these cats now, you don't even have to say nothing dope. It's just the fact that you said it. Like, what? Is this dude serious? Wow. Yeah, drop dead gorgeous. That's what he said about her. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? That is literally the epitome of some foul shit. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you dudes is really, he was really a psychopath for real. Like, yeah, he did. Psychopathic serial murder. Like, yo. And would go and tweet about shit that just happened. Somebody getting killed, and he'll go tweet about it like, haha. So who's the rapper? Who's the MC? Who's the real? What's real? Rap has been like smoke and mirrors for a while now, yo. It's been smoke and mirrors for a while, man. You know what I mean? And I do believe talent allows a certain group of people to overlook what may or may not be true if it sounds good. But for a younger generation now, that's not going to fly. They need to know that it is all documented. Because in this era with social media, they got to see it. It ain't like back in the day. You see a rapper when they put out music. You would just see them where they dropped a video or when they was promoting the album or doing a show. You didn't see them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on social media. So now these kids, their mind is tuned to authenticity to where they have to look and see what you're rapping about. They need to go on YouTube, go on motherfucking Instagram. Shout out Kamar G with the $2 super chat. Salute. Big up goes dig your content. Bless. Yo, bless to you, King. Word up. They gotta look. I think I seen this comment earlier. Hold on. Damn, I wish I could slow this shit down. He said, I think we can overlook the implications of the CIA. I think we overlook the implications of the CIA concluding with major labels in the 90s that eventually influenced the landscape of hip hop and the evolution of this gangstified persona we speak of. That's a whole nother can of tomatoes, my boy. My guy, Mike G. Because something definitely changed. Something definitely changed at one point. At one point, it was one way, and then it was something else. And if you was there from the very beginning, You can remember all those changes. You can remember all of those transitions hip hop made. And as we sit here at this point, as basically like veterans of it, it's like, damn, did somebody really just go and say, yo, we want y'all to start promoting this because we know that'll affect these people this way, and then make sure you tell them that it doesn't, though. You know what I mean? Don't make them think that. Make them feel like it, you know. Like Timekeeper says, like, who was Eazy-E really? Well, I heard Eazy-E was really like a street guy for the most part. But there was definitely a point when something changed. It was something that went different. Like, I don't know, man. And I'm not going to lie to you. I listened to some of that stuff. I listened to a lot of it when I was younger. Wait, what'd you say? Demetrius Hilton says, yeah, not only that, Playboy Cardi, who image leans heavily on punk rock. Yes, that feminine guy is really in that gang life. Look it up. I never really understood like that. Playboy Cardi. Soldiers in the military. What does it say? Azazel, aka Supra, says soldiers in the military are trained to dehumanize their opponent's side also. It's just what you have to do in the circumstances. Yeah, Dr. Dre wasn't a gangster. He was a DJ. He used to wear sparkly suits and stuff. You know what I'm saying? He was just a DJ in that era of DJs that dressed like that. But then when NWA come out, he got the hat on. He'll clap you. You know what I mean? Blah, blah. It's kind of strange when you think of that paradigm of an MC being caught up in that world to that extent, where they become something and then they actually start to believe it. You know? Some people will say that even Tupac became a victim of that psychology. If you look at Tupac and how he came up, he was more like a revolutionary type dude. And then when he started to mess with a lot of the death row stuff and all of that, it seemed like he took on a persona to match, and then he actually started to believe it. What do y'all think about that? Was Tupac a guy who, not taken away from his talent, when he was at the height of his game, and he was on death row, he actually adopted a persona because he was an actor, and then he began to believe that it was real because he had the people around him to support what he became. And I'm not saying Pac wasn't a thorough dude. Not saying Pac wasn't about repping some shit or holding some shit down. But to the extremes of it, do you think there was extremes that he took on? And it actually, he started to believe it, and he couldn't go back because of his surroundings, you know, his environment, you know, all of that, you know, that stuff gets deep, man. You know, and there was many sides to that man. Some Chris Mo said, I didn't want to say it because I like Tupac music, but some people think the Juice roll went to his head. Yeah, some people say Juice made him turn a corner or something. Let me see. Let me see what these Tupac comments. Another Von bar. Oh, God. D. Thomas says, caught that boy right by the bus. That's his last stop. Referencing another murder he was allegedly involved in, he was self-snitching in all of his songs. It's crazy. It's hard to believe he was only on death row for 8 months. Pac was a hurricane of turmoil, or was in a hurricane of turmoil. Tupac took the Bishop persona and ran with it. I think it got too big to change his persona. Trek says, once Pac started surrounding himself with Haitian Jack and Jimmy henchmen, he went full-fledged hood. This was back in 93 during the filming of Above the Rim. I don't know. We'll never know. Spook says, so did Pac influence hip-hop in a positive light? Let's be honest. Y'all answer that. Did Tupac influence hip-hop in a positive light? Did he? Did what Pac... I mean... There was so many facets to that man. He was very enigmatic with his personalities. He was all over the place, kind of like, you know. It was like 1 minute he was this thinker, next minute he was like the street guy. I feel like he was kind of battling with all of himself. I think he was so transparent that you got to see all of who he was. So it might have been a little confusing. That's a deep question. Did Pac have a positive influence on hip hop? Now that we look at it 20 years later, 20 something years later, 15, I don't know, 96, did Pac have a positive influence on rap? I mean, he made a lot of money. He was famous. He made some movies. People love him. Yeah, he was multifaceted. Yeah. He said, Sunset said Pac was a chameleon. Pac lacked mental stability due to his surroundings. Spook said Pac definitely made prison culture cool. What do you guys think? Do you think Pop talking about going to jail and getting shot and acting like it was like whatever? And, you know, because at the end of Pac's career, a lot of his talking points was him getting shot, going to jail, and surviving. You know what I mean? Wonder how I live with 5 shots. Yeah, it's hard to call. Demetrius Hilton said his positive is positive and his negative was toxic. It is what it is, and it's hard to call it. Yeah, it was all over the place. You know what I mean? Yeah, like D. Thomas said, Pac did make being a thug look cool. He has such a polarizing personality. Azazel AK Super says, no matter what people say, Tupac's music was never low level. After he got wrongly accused of a heinous crime, of course, he would come out pissed off. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I think Tupac kind of went through a maturation phase, but I don't think he got to the point where he really got his message across the way I think he intended. I mean, that's what I think. I think Pac had better intentions. What the fuck? I don't know. Looking for something, I can't find it. Oh. Mike Will, I miss Prodigy. Yeah, I miss Prodigy too, man. He kind of raised me. Pac is the blueprint for today's gangster rappers. Whoa. We got a real controversial statement here, Spook. What'd you say? In my unpopular opinion, he is the first industry plant, and I will never undermine his talent. That's kind of ill. You're going to have to explain that, my boy. Azael AK Super said, if I'm a positive rapper and I get accused of the R word, and I come out 2 years later, my music is going to be terrorism. And I'm beating people up regularly. Yo. Pac made black people getting tats cool. Clear as crystal to me, he was a blueprint for a bunch of nonsense in our community. Yo, we have a lot of like both sides of the conversation. Both sides of the conversation. Some people saying yes, some people saying no. And all you brothers, everybody in here is intelligent. So I know that y'all thinking with this right now. You understand? And nobody, like, yep. J.R. Dot says, Pac and Body, positive and negative, neither bad or good, both are necessary. And we all exist in that paradigm. None of us are all of one thing. Right? Mike Will said, Eazy-E was real yet dangerous as well. It's interesting. Everybody has a different look at this right now. We all have different opinions. I believe, like I said, I believe Nas was I think Pac was very multifaceted. He was authentic. He was talented, very talented. But I think almost he was so much of both. They like overshadowed each other once he passed away. People didn't know what to really, I don't know, commemorate more. The fact that Pac was really, shooting at police and stuff like that when they seen him harassing somebody, that's kind of wild to do that. Now, is that the street side of Pac or is that the Panther side? He's a one of a kind individual, bro. The equation said industry plant is a great term to apply to him. That's kind of, all right. All right. A lot of the most dangerous thug dudes are honestly smaller dudes. They got into some shit and proved they're more of a psychological need to be about that shit. Yeah, the Napoleon complex. Pac, I think Tupac was like 5'8", 5'7". Nas is like 5'8". I think Prodigy is like 5'7", 5'6". These guys are small, man. I seen Nas in person. He's surprisingly small. It shocked me. I thought Nas was like 6'3" my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Until I met him, I was like, oh shit. I think DMX was like 5'8". Like, this is wild. So we go into this where people were saying like they met these rappers because the way they spoke in their music, when they seen them in person and seen their stature, people were like, what? Pac is 5'10". Okay, 5'10". Mike Tyson is 5'10". Jay-Z's a small dude. I don't know why I always thought Jay-Z was like 6'4". In my mind, I think Jay-Z looks tall to me. Surprisingly small. Yo, they're short guys. Yo, some of these dudes I really thought, everybody ain't 6 feet. Yeah, Nighty Drills. Yeah, of course. But I really to this day, I believe that these dudes are all like 6'5" by the way they talk. 50 short, 50, come on, 50 got to be like 6 feet, 5'11" or something. 5'8" is a little bit on the shorter side. Y'all gonna have to do some Wikipedias, man. You know what I mean? Azazel AK Superstar. I seen Keith Murray in person. He's short as hell. Oh shit. So we just started staring at each other, and he started smiling and said, "I know you," and he just bust out laughing. No, I don't know how tall Jay-Z is. I'm just assuming he's like 6'3". He just looks tall. You know what I mean? When he's standing around people, he don't look short. He look like he's pretty much either one of the tallest or tallest, average. Average height is 5'9". 50 Cent is like, 50 is 5'7"? No way. I think Waka Flocka is like 6'7" or some crazy shit like that. Yo, Spook said being a lyricist, Supreme can definitely give you some height. Supreme lyricist. Yo, I don't know. But let's Azazel AK Super said, I met Uncle Murder. He's real short. And at first he was cool, but his Puerto Rican driver was even shorter. And he was ice grilling me in the spot. And Uncle Murder never spoke to me again after that. Yeah, Nick713 said, most of these rappers are not as tall as people perceive them to be. I don't know if it's the cameras, the videos. I don't know. They all look like they're way more dangerous than when you see them in person. Max714 said 50 short in person. I was surprised too. I don't know. Maybe they keep the camera like right here and they shoot up at them to make them look taller. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've never met a rapper and wasn't like, yo, you're mad short, son. Jay-Z's 6'2". Okay, so Jay-Z's like my height. He's like 6'2". You know what I mean? Yeah, he said, when I met Waka Flocka, I realized he's a giant. Yeah. I seen Shaq in real person in a club one time. That nigga don't even look real. Like, yo, I seen Shaq in the club one time. He didn't even look real. He didn't even look like a real human being, yo. Like, like with average people standing around, it was like, yo, he looked like a piece of furniture. Like, you know what I mean? He was part of the club, like a part of the walls. You know what I mean? Like a piece of, he like a pillar or some shit. Like he walked through the club and it was like, yo, what is that? You're Sasquatch? This nigga's huge, yo. I can't imagine playing basketball against somebody like that. That's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Break the cycle said, if I'm taller than 50 Cent, I'm gonna question my whole existence. Yo, for everybody in here, just remember you're tuning into Bladerunner Radio with the host with your most, the ghost. And we're talking about, does authenticity trump real talent in modern day rap? You know what I'm saying? We have a lot of examples, and it's like both sides have an argument. You understand? Because even on the lyrical side, the guys that weren't as authentic, they still said extreme things. You understand? Extreme. We had examples of extreme lyrics that was like. And then on the authentic, more authentic, less of a MC side, you got the guys who say extreme things, but they're not saying it as clever. They're just saying true shit. So it's like, met Shaq, he's too tall. It's nuts. So when we look at all of this, we come to a conclusion like both of our eras had, both sides have an argument, like I said, that when we look at rappers like a Nas, and we look at Nas as somebody who seems to be an intelligent dude. I wouldn't say Nas was particularly a street dude, but he's from the hood, right? And he was a great rapper at painting a picture of being in that world from his experiences, right? And a lot of people, even when Nas had beef, they would say Nas just faking, like he ain't really like that. He just talking. He just rap good. Even Jay-Z said it himself. You know what I mean? Like Nas is not authentic. He's just saying it. And then you got people that will say, you know, King Von is the realest dude ever to rap, man. It's a strange paradigm, this game of hip hop, because it reflects so many different like places in black culture. The functional and the dysfunctional side of things. There's a lot of dysfunctionality that, you know, hip hop is allowed to get away with. D. Thomas said, I think the dude that lives his raps is realer. So who's realer? Which side is realer? The authentic rapper or the guy who's the dope MC but not really a street but from the hood but makes better music, and the other guy may make good music but it's more like he's telling the truth? He said, dumbass argument. You ain't real unless you got shot 1,000,000 times. Well, Break the Cycle said, growing up, I thought I thought that gang shit was everything. But from 14 and up, every year I question my surroundings and stay away from people with that mindset. You know what I'm saying? 777 Production said, Nas is one of those type of brothers who had the best of both worlds. A lot of the time we were separated into categories, street or smart. Nas and a lot of other brothers like him were both. Yeah. Some people care about the art. Some people care about how real it is. Azazel AK Super said, like I said, it's not only about what you did, it's all about what you're willing to do. So there's a lot of street dudes that's from the hood that's smart. A lot of us, I would consider myself in that box. I come from the hood, but I ain't no dumbass. You see what I'm saying? I talk like I'm from the hood. You can tell that I'm not faking this. This is who I've always been. I'm not trying to be this. You understand? But I was never a quote unquote street dude. I dabbled in a little bit of this, sold some bud and shit like that, got in some fights, you know, but it wasn't like I was legit like out there. Like jail with my mindset was never going to be an option for me. Like I was never going to do anything to get me locked up. You understand? And a lot of you guys might categorize yourself like that. Like, yeah, I was from the hood and I was street. I was from the street, but I wasn't a straight up goon. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't even consider myself particularly a street dude. I was a smart guy. You understand? I thought I was going to the NBA. I don't know about y'all. I was nice. I was nice. But I wasn't going to be. And Spook says, I think the paradigm comes from what we see as authenticity or talent will always be remodernized throughout time. And Sada TKD says, Sadat KD says, people forget that rap is art. It doesn't have to be true. Allegories, metaphors, parodies. The audience needs it to be real like a superhero complex. Word. Max said first he was actually the shooter for his gang. Nidda Raven, y'all got some ill names, man. Nidda Raven, I don't know. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I think the nuance is if you claim to be a killer and don't kill, then you will lose respect, even if it's lyrical miracle. So authenticity will always be respected more than positive or negative. Yeah, Ant Knox says, I'm from the streets, but not of the streets. Okay. That makes sense. A lot of us are from the block, but that's not who we are. You understand? And I think a lot of people in the black community need that to be real. Just like he said in the comment, a lot of people need it to be real, but you don't apply that same nuance to movies. I mean, Night Raven. Yeah, okay, Brother Zeke, Night Raven. Excuse me if I got your name wrong. You know, they don't apply that nuance to movies. Arnold Schwarzenegger became the governor. And if you go by what he does on screen, he got more bodies than everybody. Just off Commando alone. He killed the alien. He killed Predator. And he still became governor. Night Raven. Yeah, Night Raven is on point. Okay, yeah, I don't know how my brain didn't calculate Night Raven when I read that. I don't know why I was doing that. You understand? People don't care. People will let, they don't apply that logic to music, even though that's entertainment as well. I mean, they don't apply that to movies. You know what I mean? If I seen Sigourney Weaver walking down the street, I'm not going to ask her like, yo, what was it like when you fought those aliens in Alien? How did you feel? What was it like dealing with the Queen Alien? And when you were fighting them what was it like being on that planet? People not going to say that. You understand? But when rap, they want you to go ahead and be able to tell that it really happened. My man Huss said some people leave hope. Some people believe Hove when he said, "I let the gaddy blow, leave you bleeding on your patio." The guy's a goddamn CEO when he said that. Yes, it's interesting. It's interesting what was real and what's not, G. Hurricane Bev said Andre 3K said it best. Ain't a hood nigga, but a nigga from the hood. Are you going to believe that? You can be real and not street. Yeah, I think you can be real if you do the right thing. If you take care of your loved ones and you hold yourself down and you're not out there wilding out. You pay your bills, man. You stay out of trouble. You take care of your children. You know what I'm saying? You a real man, yo. That's being real. That's why I said we gotta redefine what being real is. I think we're past that point. You gotta redefine what it is to be real, fam. I think the definition in and of itself is flawed, highly flawed. I really believe that. I think the definition of what is a real man, because it definitely applies to black men. What's real? It's got to be something different. It can't be what we call it. It doesn't apply to all of us if that's the case. I ain't real because I'm not gangbanging. That's insane. That makes no sense. You understand? If I'm real, if that makes me real, then I don't know what to say. Is Sylvester Stallone real? Did he really fight Ivan Drago? You going to ask him for boxing tips? Is he really Rocky? No. Why does that apply to? Why doesn't that apply to movies? You're gonna go to Sylvester Stallone and ask him how to throw a right cross? You're gonna ask him like, "Yo, I want to train. Can you train me to fight?" He's gonna look at you and be like, "Yo, get the fuck out of my face. What the fuck is wrong?" How he talk? Are you fucking crazy? Yo? He's gonna call you stupid. Imagine that. And there's people that remember when Cameron said that one time he went to Baltimore and people shot him because they actually believed he was really Rico from Paid in Full. Like they really took it like you was snitch. Pow. Like he really got shot over that shit, yo. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. He really got shot because people thought he was really Alpo. Like, yo, they didn't even have the same name. That's nuts. That is nuts. That matters that much? Is that the extreme? Definitely. Son, dude got shot over a fucking movie. Imagine if he got killed over that. Because people thought in their mind he was really Alpo. And then to think about it, if you really was mad because he was Alpo, were you even around when Alpo was really out? Or you just somebody that heard a bunch of shit on YouTube and just felt some type of way? Were you really around? Because if you was like in your 40s and 50s, then you might have known who Alpo was when he was in Baltimore. But if you was like 20 years old, then you are an idiot if you felt like Cam is actually Alpo, dog. You're nuts. Man. Spook said that shit was unnecessarily hilarious. Yo, niggas is dumb. I got no faith. I don't even say I got no faith in these dudes, man. I'm sorry. I got no faith in the IQ. You know what I mean? It's stupid. Yo, we got 100. I got no faith in these guys, man. Yo, that was stupid as hell. That is nuts, yo. I got no faith in these dudes, man. The IQ level is ridiculous. So you can't go around trying to tell me what real is and what street is at the same time when people can't even tell a difference between a movie and what's not real. Now, if If Cam wasn't a rapper, would that have happened? I don't know. But then when you sprinkle in hip hop culture in the movie culture, all of a sudden somebody got to get shot because of a role they played. That doesn't make sense. How many movies you got to put out? How many movies can we say to really make that make sense? You know what I mean? Sean L, what up? What's cracking, baby? These dudes is tarred, man. Short bus, spedos. I don't see how that argument doesn't apply. When you put rap and Hollywood together, all of a sudden the rapper is guilty of the crimes he committed in a movie. Fucking movie. Yo, idiots. You can't make this shit up, man. You can't make this shit up, man. You know what I mean? I never even heard of that happening to a Hollywood actor. Everybody knows movies are not real. Now, when it comes to rap, people want to believe stuff so bad that they take it to heart, man. Oh my God. Jay Thomas said, yo, TMT, don't forget about that movie American Me. The Mexican Mafia deleted everyone involved in that movie. You gotta be fucking joking. Yo, that's real? That's nuts. I didn't even know that. Hus Kingpin with the $20 super chat. Club Bladerunner Sao Paulo, Brazil, Ghost Night, interest fee $20. Yo, shout out to you, bro. Appreciate that. Yo, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't got all the answers. I'm just as confused as y'all. Brandon Shaffin says, do the females rappers fall under the same standards talking about how many joints they take? Is this thing on? Are you guys there? Let me tell you something. I don't want to hear that because at the end of the day, I'm going to tell you that most of these chicks talking like this, I would be remiss to believe that they are really the way they act. Because if that is how you act on a daily basis in the world, you have serious psychological problems, especially a female rapper. If that's who you claim you are, if they was really living the lyrics back, like, you understand? But something in me in the dark side of my brain, I be believing some of them really be like, you know what I mean? But I think a lot of them can't rap, so I think somebody else be writing that shit half the time, cause they can't rap, yo. They suck. Even you could tell when somebody's just reading some shit. You know what I mean? I haven't heard a flow in a female rap song in probably 10 years. You know how you know how you would hear somebody rapping and you would be like, damn, that nigga flow was killing it. Like, they might not have said the most complex things, but the flow was just like in pocket and perfect. I haven't heard a female rap like that, and I can't even remember. Yeah, Evan Duncan said most of these female rappers are in committed relationships. So they're faking the funk. Why we gotta fake the worst shit? Like, yo, like, that's the part. Why we gotta fake the worst shit? Like, why you niggas gotta fake the worst shit? Why don't you fake being a doctor? I want to see a rapper come out and fake, he got the stethoscope on, the white jacket, and he's rapping like he's a doctor. He's faking it. Why don't you fake like a doctor? You're like Doogie Howser. You're rapping about taking clients and patients and everything. Why don't you rap like that and blow up? Dude, like, why it gotta be the worst shit? Why you gotta be a fake streetwalker, a fake gang member, a fake drug dealer? You gotta be a fake shooter. But why you can't be a fake doctor? Why can't be something real? Something positive? I mean, I'm just saying. Why you can't be a rap about coding? Be a rap, rap about coding. Break the Cycle said Ice Spice boyfriend made a career where it is now. I didn't know that. Even R&B, Beyonce shouting out single women while being married and forgiving being cheated on. Yeah, that's nuts. That's nuts. Yo, I mean, you know what I mean, yo. You know what I'm saying? Azazel said, no, we don't want niggas trying to perform illegal butt surgeries out here because of fake doctor rappers. Nah. I'm just giving you an example, son. Here we go, Spook. I like your comments. You've been coming in with some shit. Oh, shit. Spook said, the hip-hop black audience, quote unquote, requires some sort of trauma, toxic bonding relationship with their artist. Whatever is real is relative to whoever is watching or listening. Why you can't call yourself Malcolm X and rap about being a revolutionary? Why you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we need that Foxy Brown affirmative action flow. A lot of them little, you know, why it gotta be the worst shit? And like he said, black people gotta identify with like terrible things to call it authentic. Why can't something be authentically good? Like, why can't it be authentically positive about this motherfucker, yo? Like, why it gotta be heinous? Like, that's the part, like, when we talking about, like, yo, like the female rappers, right? They want to be real scuzzburgers. Like, why you gotta be a real scuzzbag? They want to really come off like that. Think about that. Who made the rules as to what makes a female line hot? Where it has to be something OD nasty. You know what I mean? Like they bars, the criteria for a female bar is like the punchline is some gutter bug shit. Like who made up the rules to where that makes it fly? Like Suki Hana saying, I don't wear condoms, that's why I always stay pregnant. Like, what? And then you look in the comments of the clip and everybody's like, yo, she killed that. I'm like, yo, what? She killed that? Because she said that? That's the flyness of it? That's nuts, yo. That's bugged out. Why it can't just be you say some ill shit because it's ill? Why it gotta be some bullshit like that? Why can't you just say a fly line? Why the punchline gotta end with a fucking dick in your mouth? Pause. You gagging on something or twerking on something or getting banged out or the quality of your vaginal walls. Why it gotta all be wrapped around that? Yeah, Hus said the punchline is my pussy fire every time. Every time. Something along the related of the levels of her sexual abilities every time. Like, come on, son. Like, why it gotta be that? Why it all surrounds that? It's so many other ways to say a fly rap. It's like, yeah, yo, man, like that's the bar. That makes it nice. Like you just said some real street gutter monkey punchline bar. Like yo, the steak burgers. Like yo, son, I don't know, man. It's insane to me to think that that's what it's become, and it is. If it's authentic, people like yo. If you see everybody in the comments, you watch a Suki Hana clip or something, everybody's like, yo, I love that she's just being herself. And when she get on an interview, like, you know what I mean? I just like to be myself. I don't want to be nothing else. This is who I am, and I want to be like this. And I'm like, ew, yo, son, what are you talking about? Then she get in an interview talking about, yo, I like when a dude pee on me, and I want him to take a number 2 on me, and I want to fart in his face. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck, man? I'm taken aback by this. I'm taken aback. What are you talking about? The fuck is wrong with you, man? Like, yo, go somewhere with that, man. What is wrong with you? Imagine if that was a real, like, I understand her persona is what it is or whatever she's trying to be. And she, everybody always say, like, I'm just being myself. But they kind of like exaggerating. And it's like, yo, imagine being around somebody like that. Like, imagine always being like that. You know what I mean? They being characters. But it's like, why that guy? Why is that the character? Like, who told you that had to be the character? I mean, the industry made a standard and y'all all following it, and it just gets more extreme as time goes by. The more time goes by, it gets more extreme. Like, what's next? That's the question. You know what's next? I told y'all. It's going to be a chick. I'm going to tell y'all. Y'all remember this as prophecy from your boy. The next chick is going to be, she's going to rap. She's going to be a porn star. She's going to be a legit porn star. Legit, swallowing Kizak, bouncing on dicks, all of that. She's going to be straight up and down. You can reference it. Like, people going to need to go to her OnlyFans and pay to watch her rap videos. Watch. She going to have a XXX video library. Like, all her rap videos and her songs is going to be videos where she's actually like in the action of having sex with somebody or fucking a nigga. I swear to, she going to be rapping, popping dick out of her mouth. Yeah, girl, get this dick like this. She going to be like, glut, glut, glut. That's going to be the bar, my nigga. I promise you. That's what's coming next. Pause. I promise you. That's what's coming next. I'm telling you, yo. There's going to be a video where she's actually really whopping dudes off in the video. She going to rap about some nasty shit and a dude going to like skeet on her face. And I'm telling you. And she's going to be super famous. Watch. I'm telling you, yo. It's not like them chicks that did it but it ain't quite work. I'm talking about she's about to be popping. I'm telling you, dog. There ain't nowhere else to go. Where else can you go after this? What other place can you go? You know what I mean? I remember when Rod Digger said a line back in the day, and she said, I'm waiting on the day when bitches start shooting bitches. And I remember hearing that like, what? The fuck? And now you hear girls actually clapping each other for real. There's like women really getting shot by other females. A full-blown scuzz burger. You know what I mean? With extra skinkalicious sauce, bro. Light onions. No extra onions. I'm telling you. She gonna be like, give him that, got. And she really gonna be doing it in the video like, bleh, 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 bleh. And that's gonna be the sound is gonna be the hook. I'm telling you, son. The sound is going to be the hook. The actual real sound bite of her gagging on a dude's meat is going to be the fucking hook of the song. I'm telling you. And all the girls going to be like, give him that, glat. I'm telling you, son. Niggas is fucked out here. Shit is ugly. I'm telling you, man. Y'all think I'm bullshitting. Y'all think I'm making this up. I'm telling you, this is prophecy. Azazel AK Super said, I saw the video of two broads shooting at each other and they were like 66 feet away from each other and still missed. Amani Seduction. I don't even know who that is. See, that's what I'm saying. Brother Zeke says Amani Seduction actually got a video like that. But check it. She's not like OD famous. There's going to be a chick that when you mention a name, everybody's going to know who you're talking about for doing that. I'm telling you, dog. I'm not producing that shit. Word. I'm telling you, this is where it's going, fam. We already got dudes being famous for really murking people. So we already crossed that part. The female rap is only one. It's only one level left. It's only one level left to go down. I'm telling you, it's only one level left to go down in modern rap, yo. It's only one more step. And that's the step. And you know what? They probably still going to find another step. They're going to make a step for us. Right when we think it can't get any worse, they're going to go worse than that, son. I'm telling you. They're going to create steps as they go. We're already at the bottom, son. We are at the bottom of the game. It's ugly right now. I'm telling you, I don't want to imagine. But we are in the basement right now. We are Rap City, Big Tigger in the basement right now. And they're going to go to the cellar. You know, the cellar's like beneath the basement. They're going to be doing some other shit. And they're going to be calling it real. They're going to be like, he's real. You're fake. Fuck you. I don't care if you could rap. Go fuck yourself. You know what I mean? Niggas going to have videos where they really doing drive-bys on live. That's how much people want this fame now. Yeah, degeneracy will always prevail somehow. It's like Jurassic Park. Nature always finds a way. Niggas always find a way to fuck some shit up. I'm telling you, niggas always find a fucking way, son. I'm telling you. They're going to be doing drive-bys on lives, recording, making videos with real beef and shooting at people. We're going to get to a level where, son, it's going to be like, yo, I'm going to be out there like C. Dolores Tucker, man, running over niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm out there protesting these niggas like, nah, man, you're done. No more. It's going to be worse. We thought BET Uncut was bad, man. Wait, I'm telling you, I say give it like 5 years, man. Give it like 5 years. You got dudes getting in, murking somebody, then going and taking Instagram photos right after they do it. Then they get murdered. Then I'm telling you, it's going to be some shit where you're going to see live drive-bys with a beat playing in the back. And they're going to be rapping a hook while they shooting at somebody. And that shit is going to go viral, son. Viral. People will do anything to go viral because that's all it take rap now. TikTok, you ain't even got to make no song, yo. You just got to do some insane shit and have a song playing. This shit has got to stop. Going too far. You niggas gonna find a way to fuck it up, bro. We at the last stage of it. You know what I mean? Going viral is everything. You know what I mean? People done died going viral. Think about that. Remember the shorty that was like leaning out the car and she got hit by like a light pole trying to get a video of her with her titties out? Imagine that being the last image of you on earth, yo. You know what I'm saying? Imagine that being the last image of you on this planet. Some bullshit. You ever watch that viral crime shit? That channel that be like a chick that got killed by her boyfriend or some wild hood booger shit, right? They always, the chicks rapping in front of Planned Parenthood. You already know. They always seem to, damn, I forgot what I was going to say. Shit, made me forget what I was going to say. I think it was a comment. Damn, it'll come back to me. I was about to say something about that viral crime shit. Oh, I know. I remember. So every time nowadays, right, they always show the girl who got killed and something happened to her. And all they got is records of her doing TikTok dances, twerking, doing some goofy shit on the internet. And that's literally like your last record of existence, right? That's what the news is going to use. Things like that. I remember back in the day, if something happened to somebody, it'd be like their high school photo with them like this, or, you know, smiling, holding their family, like a photo. Now it's always like some TikTok shit. Like, and they like, she was a fun-loving girl. She loved to have a great time, and she didn't do nothing to nobody, and she was awesome and everybody, and it's just her doing this like. And you're like, yo, son, I would hate to be, my last record is some shit like that, yo. is insane. Let me see. 777 Production said there was a song with Glorilla and some other rap nigga where they talked about was dysfunctional relationships. It was so crazy that I was like, this has to be a satirical message. You was wrong. Oh yeah, you definitely was wrong, bro. She telling girls to be toxic in their 20s. I mean, this is the new leader, right? She's telling young women to be toxic in their 20s. I mean, all right. Vitality is the new authentic. If we don't see it, it never happened. Jesus wouldn't even survived in this era. That's wild. Yeah, Brother Zeke, or a prom pic or something like wholesome. You know, the news is like such and such happened to this, and it'd be like a wholesome photo of you, you know, with you holding your moms or hugging you, holding some, being, now it's just somebody looking nuts, yo. That's nuts. This is your last representation. If it ain't viral, it ain't real. If it ain't viral, it didn't happen. You can hear the frustration in my voice. Just some bullshit. You're like, yo, some bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like, what is authentic? What is real anymore? Like, what is real at this point? What is authentic? You know what I'm saying? Authentically horrible, authentically dysfunctional. It's like, yo, I don't get it. Why the fuck is everything, when it comes to the subject matter of being authentic, it has to be something fucking dysfunctional, dog. You got to be a real nigga. You can't be a real man. Like, yo, that's why now I would never let a shorty refer to me as a nigga. I would never let him do that. You know what I mean? Jay Thomas says, Ayo, shout out to TMT for all those years. The good audio sessions, bro, capture the vibe with the instrumentals and ambiance. Make you drop your sword and converse with like-minded men. Yo, I appreciate that, bro. Appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? If everybody you don't know, I'm finally got monetized. YouTube said, all right, we let him rock a little bit. So shout out to everybody who donated and hit the Cash App. I mean, not the Cash App. I forgot what it's called. What's that shit called? Fucking. What is that shit called when you donate? I forgot. Hit the what is that shit? This is retarded to me right here. I forgot what it's called. Whatever it's called. Hit the donate button. I don't even remember, yo. I've been demonetized for like 4 years straight, yo. Straight up. Super chat. Yeah, super chat. I literally forgot what it was called. That lets you know. That lets you know. This is some new shit for me, Jack. I didn't even remember what that shit was called. I was like that fucking button with the you know, the thing when you hit feel like an old man, like I don't even know how to use my cell phone or something. Yeah, but like I said, I don't even like when shorties even call me a nigga, man. Like I know that their mentality is they share the mentality of like the most racist Klans members sometimes in a lot of their actions. If you really break it down, a lot of the things they do like mirror the actions of like a Jim Crow racist. You know what I mean? They do a lot of the same things. I said that in the video, Black Klanswoman, that I dropped. They literally do the same things. They refer to us the same way. They talk about us the same way. They treat us as if we're less than human the same way. They treat our children the same way. You know what I mean? They literally, you know, if you think about it, you know what I'm saying? Their actions mirror a lot of the actions of like the Jim Crow most racist Klans member that ever lived. But it's almost like the most intricate and most, you know, sneakiest undermining like plot to be like to carry out your racist ideology without having to actually do it. And then you know that most dudes is never going to really point that out. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of ill when you think about it. Like, it's really like some real mind-boggling shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? If you really think about it, I know a lot of y'all is probably looking at that and being like, just connect the dots. Like, you know, racist Klansmen would take you from your family and separate your family. She'll do the same shit. That'd be like her first instinct, to take your kids from you, castrate you, right? She calls you an N-word more than she calls you a man. And she calls you a boy at that. So you're an N-word and you're a boy, as far as she's concerned. You're never a man. Boy, stop. You could be fucking 45 years old and she's still calling you a boy. She only fuck with you if it's profitable, right? Your services are only useful if it renders a profit for her. Same way as a slave master. Your only good is your work. You pick cotton. That's the only time you really matter to me, is how much you work. I don't care if you break your back. I don't care if you suffering while you're doing it. You only exist because you're profitable to me. That's why they always talk about what you want in a man. They be like, he gotta make 150,000. He gotta be 150,000. If he's a regular dude, if you're a regular dude, you gotta make 150,000, 200 bands, 300 bands for her to even treat you halfway okay. Unless you a thugged out degenerate, then it's free. You know what I'm saying? If you're a thugged out degenerate, you pay nothing. But if she gotta fuck with you, because listen, she see that thug dude as like, it's like her child. Like, you know what I'm saying? By proxy, even if she doesn't have a kid, he's like the child of her psychology. The thug. He's the child by proxy of the psychology of her mentality shared with the racist Klansmen. That's the child they wanted, the dysfunctional buck alpha Negro. So she only wants that guy. She wants to keep replicating him by default. If she deals with you, then it has to be a price, a ridiculous price for her to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? For her to really fuck with you, she got to pay. You got to pay, because she don't fuck with you like that. She don't fuck with you like that. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't be this many rules and steps and obstacles. She wouldn't even come at you talking about no money. But if he asks a chick, what does a guy need to date you? And she's in her mind, you know, first thing she's thinking, oh, you must be talking about the regular dude. Oh, yeah, he needs to be a millionaire. Yeah. A thug dude is safe for white society. You got to think about that. She don't really fuck with you like that. I know this kind of went off topic, but she don't. If every video you see and it's all about what you bring to the table and how much money you got, if she automatically assumes the role of the prostitute's mind, she assumes the mentality of a prostitute, that means she don't fuck with you like that. For her to even give you a sniff of her drawers, it's going to cost you. For you to even sit in her presence at a dinner table, it's going to cost you. If she automatically regresses and switches into a streetwalker's mentality, that's because she don't fuck with you like that. I know this guy a little serious. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to just think about that. When you see these things, when dudes get their kids taken away and he can't see his son or his daughter, that's the same thing they did on the plantation, bro. They take your kids and send them somewhere else. They only want the buck. You know what I'm saying? The thug, he's the buck. He's the one that on the plantation would get to sleep with all the girls because he was the strongest. So they really only sexually attracted psychologically to the buck. So that's why the thug gets all the girls. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen a single thug in my life. A thug without a girlfriend, I have never seen one. that didn't have a woman. That's why they can have all the kids. They're literally living it out in real time in modern day, subconsciously. It's woven into their fabric. The buck. They only want the buck. He's the one. And that's who the thug is now. He's the buck. You know what I mean? I want y'all to really think about it. It's all paradigms. It's just different words. You know what I mean? It's just different words, but it's the same ideologies, just passed down. That's why the sexual dynamic is so twisted. It makes no sense because y'all still living like she's still living like a slave mistress in 2023. Her mindset is still programmed to be that slave mistress, that bed warmer for Zaddy. That's why he has so much authority over her. You dig? That's why he has so much authority over her and how she think, what she, her attraction. At any point, like they said, a regular, even a buck, he was still subjugated to Zaddy for her. So even if she's fucking with the most thugged out dude, Zaddy still trumps that. She'll leave him for a regular nerd. But you got to be all these alpha things. But for him, he could just be a regular guy. A regular Bam Margera looking motherfucker. You know what I mean? Johnny Knoxville looking dude. That's all, and he's good. But you got to be like 50 Cent and Snoop Dogg and 100 other niggas wrapped into one. You know what I mean? You got to be LeBron James, 50 Cent, Snoop Dogg, motherfucking everybody. Denzel, Idris Elba. People only put real high standards on things they don't really want. You understand? The same way if you say, oh, if you're going to mess with a really big girl, 300 pounds, well, she better be rich. If you're going to do it, she better be rich. She better be able to buy me a Lambo and a mansion. That's how they talk about you. A regular, decent looking dude. A decent dude with a decent job and a decent life. She talk about you like you weigh 500 pounds and you're disgusting. So you have to come with literally a Lamborghini or something for her to like give you a shot. Come on, man. I could cook. I don't really go here, but I could. We was talking about hip hop, but it always kind of falls back into this foundational conversation. All of this stuff is rooted in the same shit. I'm telling you. TMT, have you ever watched the movie Goodbye Uncle Tom? It's a slave plantation 101 crash course. It's ill. It is what it is. Like I said, you just got to accept what the truth is and adapt and move on. It don't even matter, really. It's just knowing is half the battle, right? Long as you know, you got an idea of what it is, it don't matter. It is what it is. Let the people who follow that script go where they gonna go. And you stand on your principles and you go where you gonna go. Two separate forks in the road. You know what I mean? I believe everybody in this chat is on the fork in the road that's gonna go elsewhere. Like, all right, y'all could do that over there, but I'm good. Breaking the cycle. Asian Doll said, don't talk to me unless you got 3 bodies. Like, what kind of extremes is that? You know what I'm saying? That negates every decent dude, literally. That, given if he was in the military or something. And if that dude was in the military and came to her with that same, if he answered like, I got 3 bodies in Afghanistan, she still wouldn't fuck with him if he was decent. So it ain't even about that. You know what I mean? It's the goodness that turns him off at the end of the day. Because there's dudes in the military that got more bodies than that. And she wouldn't fuck with a square dude with 3 bodies because he was a sniper in the military. You know what I'm saying? She ain't gonna fuck with him. So it's like, what are you really attracted to then? What is that really, you know what I'm saying? That eliminates 99.9% of dudes. That's a fact. Yeah, I just enjoy watching the world burn at this point. I'm far as hell away from that bullshit. And it's like, I just happen to be like, I just watch the shit burn. Yeah, once you break the cycle, said I threw my hands in the air after I started understanding this space more. I'm more at peace knowing I ain't got to deal with this. You don't. We talk about it. We joke about it. We talk shit. But most of us ain't really dealing with it like that. You know what I'm saying? You're not around this shit. It's just funny. It's weird. It's weird because it exists, but it don't really apply to most of us. It don't apply to us. We're not on that path. We're not in that world. It's just nuts. It's almost like, it's just like I said, it's like a dark comedy. You're just watching this shit like, what the fuck am I watching here? It's not like it. 77 Productions added more to it about the military guy and the thug guy with 3 bodies. He said it's also this. That military dude probably killed an Arab or somebody. The street dude killed another black man. That's going to make her hot. Because again, we're talking about that Jim Crow slaver mentality. You know what I'm saying? Slave masters would brag about another slave master who's like really brutal towards slaves. Like, man, he be, whoo, Jimmy Lee, man, he don't play with them slave boy. That motherfucker's serious. You know what I mean? So she looks at that like, that's fly. That's fly. Like, damn, you killed black men? Ooh, tell me more. Tell me more. Ooh. Something in me is just buzzing. Yeah, it's that motherfucking, the ghost of Jimmy, the ghost of George Washington flowing around in your fucking blood veins, bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. That Jim Crow's, the ghost of Jim Crow in your spinal column fluid. You know what I mean? It's ill, yeah. It's funny to see videos of it, but yeah, you don't get mad no more. Wow. Azazel, aka Super, said, Lauren London said that she always liked those type of dudes. She said when she was watching Menace to Society, the scene where Old Dog shot the clerks made her sexually aroused. The wicked part about that, a lot of dudes really don't know what women, don't want to know what a lot of women are really sexually turned on by. You know what I mean? A lot of men really don't want to know. You don't want to know. Because it might be something that's just like out of pocket. A lot of rough fantasies, a lot of crazy shit like that. The R-word fantasies. Subtle abuse fantasies, weird shit, bro. You know what I mean? Break the Cycle said, I seen gangsters grill me and size me up. They got manners and respect when a white guy comes. I seen the blood move out the way. I've seen a blood move out of a woman way and say good day. Word up. Yo, the plot is thick, bro. The plot is thick. You don't even want to know. That's why when you deal with a shorty nowadays, man, you got to put her in a safe place, a safe pocket in your mind mentally where she can't, affect things outside of you. Like she can't change your procedure. You know what I mean? You could care about her. But you always got to keep her in a safe place where you can still operate. Unfortunately. You know what I mean? Because it's like certain things, you just got to be prepared for it to go left and go bad. You always got to be like in an emotionally prepared state for things to fall apart at any moment or go left or us do some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta deal with women on like a don't ask, don't tell basis if you want to keep them around. Because once you start prying in, it don't take much for a female to say something that's gonna turn you off these days. And for her, it's gonna be normal conversation. To you, it's gonna be disgusting. You know what I mean? Spook says something demonic is definitely puppeteering these broads into extinction. Something. You know what I mean? Something. But you think it said what it say in the Bible? It said that, you know, God said that to the Satan and Eve. He said it's going to be enmity between you and her offspring. You know what I'm saying? So, and he's going to crush your head under his heel. So I think what the evil beings of this world are doing is trying to prevent a righteous seed from being produced. Because if all the women are corrupt, then all the seeds will be corrupt. And everything will be corrupt from there on. It basically keep that from happening. That's what I think. A lot of these dudes operate from the same frequency as these horrible chicks. Michael Jordan said, my bro's a cop. His crazy ex liked his service gun in a hoo-ha. Know what I'm saying? That's nuts. 77 Production said, we got to break the psychological connection to these savages. That may be some BWs, but overall, I'm thinking about the European. That sick, twisted connection is still there in subtle ways. Yeah. Break the Cycle said, as soon as I sense dysfunction, I give them the cold shoulder. I could come in a spot and flat out ignore them, cover your 6 little times. It's interesting when you really think about it. You know what I mean? When you really think about it, it's like maybe that's what the whole plan was, to corrupt as many of them as possible to prevent the rise of a black messiah. Yeah. Yeah. God told them what was going to happen. He gave them the heads up. So he's like, all right, we got to keep that from coming. So we got to just negate all the righteousness from the women and the men, and everything will just be twisted. All the children will come out fucked up and evil, and, you know. That's exactly the agenda. Yeah, Matt. A girl told me once she wanted me to put the joint in her mouth one time. She was from the UK. It makes perfect sense. It's literally written in the Bible what the whole end of the game was going to be. Basically, God said it's going to be serious drama between you and her seed. She's going to bear a seed, and he's going to stomp your fucking head in. I promise you that. You may get it now, but when he comes, it's over. So how do you stop that from happening? You corrupt that. If she's going to be the conduit for that to happen, she has to be utterly corrupted so that won't happen. And here we are. You know what I'm saying? Here we are. Everything about the culture of, you know, reproduction with children is completely devoid of any godliness at this point. You know, people are just having children with no sanctity between themselves, their relationship, and the Most High. They're just having kids. So that kid is already basically negated. He's born into sin like a motherfucker. He's already been negated from it. You know. And I'm not even a biblical scholar like that, but certain things like that is just logic. If you just connect the dots, like, I can see that being the case. I can definitely see that being why things are the way they are. It makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? Satan isn't dumb. You know what I'm saying? He's not a dumbass. He's smart. You know what I'm saying? Break the Cycle says, crazy how most of us in this chat were born in dysfunction, yet we don't partake in the mess. We just live our life. It makes you wonder how special God's love is, truly. Spook adding on said, the woman is the first teacher, so if they give her a toxic curriculum to teach from, the generation will become distorted. Exactly. A Son the Great said, damn God, that's deep stuff. That's powerful. And Max 714 scripture said, these times daughter goes against the mother, sons against the father. It's a fact. Mogul May says, speaking facts, much respect to you. Oh, I appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that. 77 Production said, there will be a righteous generation. It's inevitable. They got spooked in the 60s and 90s, so now they've ramped up the plot to an extreme degree. Black Effect said, woe to those who raise children in this day and age. Brandon Chaffin says, there's no rest for the wicked, and indeed, they are working hard. They're working very hard. So that's why I always tell you brothers to cover your six and be very careful. Because I always said this in the video, women are in open rebellion against the Most High. Open rebellion against anything righteous. Any and everything having to do with righteousness, they are fully in rebellion of it. Anything. You bring up any type of rules and laws and statutes in the Bible, you will see the average woman's head explode. Steam come out their ears. Their head will start spinning like exorcists, bro. If you ever try to just kick some like righteous facts to them, they will literally lose their fucking mind. You know what I'm saying? You'll see that little demon come fly right out of them. You know what I'm saying? It will attack you, literally attack you. Let any of you try that. Go up to a chick and try to kick some like, you know, it says this in a good book. You act like this, you act like that. You can say that to the LGBT crew. You tell them the same shit. Yo, the Bible says man and a woman. I don't know what y'all want, blah, blah, blah. They'll literally lose their fucking mind on the spot. They'll be ready to fight you on the spot. Literally. They're literally convincing people that what is, isn't. Yeah, Black Effect said, we see why Satan looked to beguile the woman. She buys into the system. Yeah, she's very easy to, she falls for the subterfuge every time. You know what I mean? She's not very, I'm not going to say that, but she's just very gullible. And she believes it. You know what I mean? She believes everything society says. So as long as they keep women psychologically tethered to the rules and the ways of society, then so will the generations behind her, the children, everybody. They are literally tethers of the society. They're literally the living embodiment of everything society wants you to be and think. My grandmother, mom, and sisters are Keishas from 3 different generations, and I love when I talk to my GMA and say Bible verses, her eyes roll so deep in the back of their head, and she's in her 70s. Yeah, they hate that. Don't you be quoting scriptures around no ratchet chicks. You see how they act? They literally like they're like unadmitted atheists. You know what I mean? They're like atheists that don't admit it. Because they still act like Jesus got the will and they at church and all that. But literally they live like they're atheists. Because they don't want to believe anything the word says. They refuse to believe it. Yeah, they want to rewrite the Bible. Like they'll take the pieces of the Bible they want. That's why they go to them goofball preachers that nitpick through the Bible and tell them, Gary, you could go out there and twerk and shake your ass and suck as many dicks as you want. As long as you come to church on Sunday, it's all good. They're literally atheists. They don't give a fuck about God. They don't give a fuck about the Most High. They don't give a fuck about the Bible. You know what I'm saying? They don't give a shit. They just want somebody to go through the Bible for them and spoon feed them prosperity preaching bullshit. That's why them prosperity preachers that wearing like regular clothes and fitted caps and Jordans and shit, that's why they love them dudes. He look like a little street dude. He up there like, God said you could do what you want. Ain't no everybody, God love everybody, even if you like, they love that shit, bro. Black Effect said they want to do away with God. They hate the Heavenly Father because he corrects them. Right. They hate judgment in every form. Azazel AK Super said, in my opinion, though, we way too religious. Black people are the most religious and the most cursed. My life has been effed up for a long time because everyone did was pray and not actually help me. I understand that. Religion and spiritual strength is 2 different things. There are many types of intelligence. There are many types of intelligence. Women are very much out equal in contemporary intelligence. But when it comes to spiritual intelligence and 3D thinking, they don't measure up. The Most High said himself. As long as you give him some tool, he will tell you what they want you to hear. Yeah, exactly. Told the woman to stop talking to me because she's married and men are speaking, and I continued to handle the situation with the husband. Her whole body shut down and she got heated. Right. Azazel the Super says, so I think when people start to feel like God ain't listening, it just don't even bother no more. Son Treater said, I'm going to test his theory and see how they act. Yeah, you're going to see. You're going to see. It's going to be like Exorcist. You might as well feel like you're doing an exorcism or something. They really love that black woman as God talk. Think about that. They literally replace God with themselves. And the simp dogs go ahead and co-sign that bullshit. Like, yo, what you look like worshiping a female? It's nuts. Yeah, Sir Mosley said they want to feel good. Yeah, the same pastors that sleep with multiple women at the church. Right. They will show him so much honor, right? They will call him pastor this, pastor that, bishop this, bishop that. But when they come to the crib, they won't even call you sir. You can't even be sir in your own house. But he's bishop this. He got all these luxurious titles. But when you in the crib, she can't even call you sir, bro. You ask a woman to call you sir, they literally look at you like you crazy. Why am I call you sir? But you call this nigga sir? You call him bishop. What the fuck? That's damn near a kingly regal name. Like he's motherfucking the king of fucking Brussels or some shit. The Prince of Persia. You literally talking to this dude, giving this dude royal titles because he tell you what you want to hear. But me, I'm the one helping, supporting, but you can't even call me sir in my own crib. Come on, man. You know what I mean? It's nuts. Just look at the relationship between the preacher and the woman. It's nuts. Self-idolatry, yeah. They love to call themselves gods and queens. And you know what I mean? Replacing themselves with God. Literally. If that ain't narcissism at its extremes, I don't know what is. That's like the most narcissistic shit you could possibly do. Is to replace the Most High with your own self. Spook says, I think the black woman is God talk only affirmed Jezebel tendencies. In a certain way, yeah. I believe so too. What the fuck? My TV turned off? Yeah, fuck it. Yeah, man. It's definitely it's interesting. It's a weird dynamic when we get into this type of conversation, because they always seem to have they think they have rebuttals for it, but really it's all just narcissism. That's all it is. It's just narcissism. You know what I mean? Let me see what this Azazel AK Super says, however, I hear black women saying they worship Lilith because it's a girl and Jesus is sexist. Yo, they're nuts. Break the cycle. I recently just graduated from trade school, and this one girl in my class told me, you go, girl. And I checked her, and she didn't want to hear it, but the street dude she had respect for. It's nuts, yo. Yeah, the Hotep brothers are going in the head. I believe it might have something to do with their ancient status or metaphysical level. The black woman was seen as a goddess alongside us. It's like some twisted sense of desire to get back. Worshipping the creature. That's why both men can't win. Black Effect says, 7-7 Production says, but without the work it takes to get there. I see what you're saying. J. Thomas, TMT, you're having a lit time doing live streaming. Keep up the good work. Yeah, appreciate it, brother. Break the cycle. Once I stopped talking to her and gave her that she couldn't shoulder, she tried everything to talk to me. No way. Night Raven says the divine feminine is a spiritual concept that there exists a feminine counterpart to the patriarchal and masculine worship structures that have long dominated organized religions. The divine feminine extends well beyond one belief system and instead can be used as a spiritual lens to balance our perspective. And Spook says, true, but once she got colonized, Her Majesty died. The divine feminine is some babble. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's all the mother goddess, all of that shit. You know what I mean? I don't know what the nigga Tariq Nasheed be saying, the mother goddess, such and such, like wild shit. Like it's not necessary. You know what I mean? My TV went off. It got dark as fuck in here. You know what I mean? It's ill, but anyway, I think we're going to wrap this up, brothers. I think we had a nice, deep, profound discussion on a multitude of topics. I want you guys to just put a one in the chat if you appreciate the conversation. If it helped your night go by a little easier, tuning in to Bladerunner Radio with your host, The Ghost. I want y'all to just put a one in the chat if y'all appreciate it. I want to give a shout out to everybody that dropped a super chat, anything like that. I want to shout out to all the Patreons and everybody who supported TMT from any point from the beginning till now and supporting me on this new stage in the journey. You know, I'm just trying to, you know, be the best I could be at this. And I really hope that, you know, I just want to give a shout out and a salute to everybody that came through and dropped a like and spread some love. And if you didn't drop a like, can you please drop a like on your way out? And, you know, I'm going to keep doing this, man. I really enjoy having these conversations with you brothers. And I think a lot of the space has become very watered down. So, you know, I like to talk about hip hop because it coincides with a lot of the stuff we talk about. So, and I think that, and Black Ram told me, he said, yo, I think the hip hop conversation could be your niche because you have a lot of understanding and everything like that. All right, I think it kind of disconnected, so let me make sure it's still there. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna keep trying to have conversations, just trying to break all this shit down, because if we don't do it, who's gonna do it? If we don't have this conversation, who's gonna do it? Who's gonna make sense of it? You know what I mean? We got enough know-how. Everything about the red pill or quote unquote red pill is not all about women and what they doing. It's about you and your understanding and how you perceive the truth around you and how you interpret information and how things make sense to you. You know what I mean? That's what it really means. So I want you guys to get an understanding. We're going to have these conversations together. So I want to thank everybody for showing up. Everybody for showing up, whether you came in for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, came and went back, you know, bounced around, stuck around for the conversation, came in late, came in early. You got love from me. You know what I mean? I shout out to everybody who donated. You guys are awesome. Put a 1 in the chat. Say peace to your brothers on the way out. Cover your 6. I'm going to start by doing that. You know, peace, cover your 6 on the way out. Stay safe out here. Stay vigilant. Keep walking with the Most High. And, you know, I got a Patreon. Check it out if you want the old school style TMT videos with just the audio so you can vibe out, work out to, drive to, sit at work in the corner, act like you're working, but you're really not, and just sit there and listen to it and, you know, and kind of tune out the bullshit. You know what I mean? Yo, thank you, brother. Great live stream. I fuck with this. Then some pussy. Oh, some pussy pill only talks about the same thing. I appreciate that, bro. It's more to it than just talking about females, man. You heard? Cover your 6, cover your 6, cover your 6, cover your 6. Stay blessed, walk in faith. This is TMT with another excellent live stream. Bladerunner Radio with your host, TMT. Modern Raps Crossroads. Does authenticity trump real talent? We had a great conversation. We got some great minds in the conversation in the chat. And I enjoy this, and we're going to do this again. I just want to say peace and bless.